I spent the summer participating in the Sexual Rights for Social Change Academy, a summer fellowship where we develop strategic communications and messaging tools to advance the dialogue around sexual health and rights globally, with a focus on young people. Throughout the 8-week program, I had the honor of formulating a digital advocacy campaign strategy for an international feminist nonprofit alliance, attended lectures on SRHR topics ranging from reproductive justice to climate change and sexual rights, and produced short-form videos that effectively communicated my key learnings to a broader audience on social media. In honor of completing my fellowship, I wanted to share one of my key takeaways from this experience and how you can be an advocate for sexual and reproductive health and rights no matter who or where you are. My takeaway is that advocacy can happen everywhere and at any time because we are all some of the most influential teachers and advocates in our loved ones' lives. When you think of advocacy, you might imagine a room full of powerful people, but some of the most meaningful forms of advocacy actually happen in much quieter, intimate spaces. During the fellowship, I worked on creating a digital campaign strategy with the goal of uplifting parents and caregivers to be key allies and supporters for comprehensive sexuality education, also known as CSE. One of the reasons why the topic of this campaign is so important is that even though parents are often the first and most important educators in their child's life, they are often not meaningfully included as partners in the development of CSE. And when misinformation campaigns target vulnerable parents, this directly affects young people's access and understanding of SRHR services. In order to understand parents' experience with CSE and what they need to feel supported in their role, I had the honor of interviewing a parent from Pakistan. Through our conversation, I came to realize that even though she wasn't a public figure or policymaker, she was engaging in some of the most meaningful advocacy work I've seen. What stayed with me most was how clearly and firmly she voiced her greatest hope for her children, that they grow up understanding bodily autonomy and consent in every aspect of their health and relationships. Growing up, she had to navigate feelings of discomfort and secrecy around sexual health, but now, as a parent, she's taken an active role, going as far as taking a course on how to speak to children about CSE topics. In her own words, her advice to other parents is to listen with curiosity, don't freak out, use precise vocabulary, and teach consent from a very early age. Her story reminds me that some of the strongest forms of advocacy happen in everyday moments, when someone chooses to respond with openness and lead with love, even in unfamiliar or uncomfortable territories. This fellowship reaffirmed for me that while advocacy can take the form of digital campaigns and content creation, it's just as important to pair those efforts with how we show up for others, because our communities and loved ones are the most powerful advocates we'll ever meet. I hope you enjoyed learning about my experience, and if you're a USC student, I definitely encourage you to apply for this fellowship.